Jackie's personality disorder is spiralling out of control again. Maths Australia, Tuesday the 1st of April, episode 18. And it's Friends and Family Week. Tony and Morena are having a chat about what happened on the couch, and Tony's like, I'm just going to keep my comments to a minimum. Like he doesn't do that already. Why did he even choose to stay with this psychopath? Adrian was talking to the camera and he says that he chose to stay and he's going to step up or he's going to do better or whatever. And he says she's lucky that I chose to stay. She's lucky that he chose to stay. She's lucky that Mr. fucking Potato Head, that his tongue's too fucking big for his mouth and he can't even talk properly, chose to stay. Delusional. As Billy and Sarah chose to leave last time, Billy came to see Jamie and Dave and give them his fish and ask if they would adopt him. Now, I've never understood on this show why they buy pets, because this isn't the first time somebody's came to another couple and says, oh, will you take these pets? Like, what were they planning on doing when they were going home and there's nobody there to look after them? Thankfully, it didn't show you Sarah saying goodbye to anybody, because she's an absolute bint and I don't want to see her face again. So it's time to meet the friends and family, and Ryan and Jackie are putting on a show as usual, trying to make out as if everything's all fine and dandy. And they says, oh, how are you two getting along? And she says, oh, I would say we were the second strongest couple after the honeymoon. When was that? Let's recap the whole situation. All she's done for the start is cry, moan, complain, moan that he dropped her at the wedding, cry about every single thing that he's done. When have they ever been the strongest couple? Oh, that's right, never. But Jackie's 17th personality's come out today and she's just fucking telling lies as usual. Now, usually I would think, oh, like Ryan's family, friends and family should have stuck up for him more. However, we all know that he's a bit of a dick as well, so is it really worth putting yourself out there for somebody like that? Not really. The two of them are arseholes. Victoria went to check in on Lauren and see how she was doing, and she took her margaritas, which I thought was hilarious. And obviously Lauren was like, he's a narcissist, look out for him or whatever. And at the time I was thinking, oh, I really like Victoria. My opinion has changed since then, but I thought it's really nicer to go and see Lauren and see how she's doing. Clint and Lauren were doing the photo challenge and Clint put Jackie fourth from the end. And once again, at what point in this show was he looking at her and thinking, oh, why, she's a catch, I'm going to ask her to be my girlfriend? Especially after the sofa situation where she pulled out that list about Ryan. Like, it literally makes no sense how they're together now. It must be sheer desperation. And I seen somebody post a picture of his house, which was quite big, and people were saying, oh, it's not very homely. And I was like, well, Jackie's 24 personalities will fill it up quite nicely. Victoria and Elliot were doing the photo challenge, and he was taking it like we're just ranking these people on physical appearance and attractiveness. Now, that's understandable, right? She obviously wasn't happy with that. And when she was ranking the men, she was doing it more on personality and stuff like that. But I feel like if she didn't want him to rank them just based on looks, she should have said at the time, instead of kind of like being annoyed about it later. When it was time for her to rank the men, I think she put him third, which was really quite high up. But do you know what? He took it a lot better than I was expecting. Maybe he just didn't want to lash out because it would have been embarrassing. But I'm kind of glad she didn't put him first, because I wouldn't have even have put him, he'd have been at the end. Right at the end. When they put on Lauren's audition tape, and she was sitting there just fanning herself, totally with a straight face, I fucking detest Lauren. I've not liked her from the start. People who go on about gender roles and, you know, she wants to be a trad wife and all that, is like the absolute worst, one of the worst sort of women that you can have. When she was saying I'm not into 50-50, so she wants him to do all the work, plus she wants to have a business and look after her one child that she wants to have at 37. And then she wants him to have $1 million, and when they said on the bank, she's like, oh, earnings. So she wants him to earn £1 million a year. Fuck off, Lauren. Her 1820s attitude makes me feel physically sick. And I hate women like this. I also hate men who want a trad wife as well, but I just can't stand anything about her. So what's interesting to me is he's paired up with Lauren at the moment, who wants to have her husband earn £1 million a year. And now in real life he's paired up with Jackie, who's all about like being a successful businesswoman, making money and all that, and she wants to do that with her partner. But I mean, this guy is a lost cause. Like, if he'd have paired up with any of them, he'd have been fucked. It was time for Athena and Adrian to have their friends and family meet up, and oh my god. Adrian's two sisters and best friends were there, and the three of them were complete fucking cunts. Are we surprised? To be honest, I wasn't really that surprised by his sisters' attitudes because their mum and dad, or whoever it is that dragged them up, have obviously done an absolute shite job, so you wouldn't expect him to act the way he does and then have sisters that are actually half decent. His parents have done such a shit job, and they've obviously just praised everything that they've done, even their bad behaviour, so that explains why he acts the way he does and he thinks he's fucking God's gift to mankind. I mean, he's clearly got a speech impediment that his parents have never even tried to fix, and he's trying to say it's his accent. No mate, your tongue's too fucking big for your mouth. So of course him and his sisters are going to be cunts, but his best friend was sitting there, and she was pulling a lot of facial expressions in that, and I thought, right, it's going to be editing, right, she's sitting like, you're doing all this, but there was times where the camera was like pulled away, and Athena was speaking, and she's actually sitting like, drawing the eyes off her. And I thought, who the fuck does she think she is? Then I find out she's an influencer on TikTok and Instagram. Her name's Jasmine's Eats, and she's turned all her comments off on TikTok because I think she was getting attacked because of this. And people were going, oh, she's got to learn her lesson, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, aye, okay, she's lost a couple of thousand subscribers. She's got over 200,000 subscribers. But on Instagram, she's totally thriving. She's got over 400,000. Nobody was leaving any negative comments, like she's not cancelled or anything. So it's not as if like her TikTok's really going to make a difference because she'll be making more money on Instagram probably. At one point before this aired, she had issued an apology on her Instagram saying that you were going to see her sticking up for Adrian, but she didn't have both sides of the story. But as we've seen, she didn't even let Athena talk. She just sat there and like judged her like a fucking bitch. I don't know how Athena and her sister just sat there. And by the way, when her sister showed up in like the same outfit, I was like, that is crazy. And I was so glad when her sister stuck up for her. Like, she wasn't taking any shit. When Athena says that he hadn't asked about her wee boy, and she says, oh, I mention him all the time, and his fucking ratchet pal, as Chloe was calling her, was like, oh, I should hope so. Pure fucking attitude. I don't know how she didn't fucking pull her over that table and kick her cunt in. Then when the sisters left the building, they said something like, oh, you can put a ribbon on a garbage can, but it's still trash or something. Fucking talk about yourself, bitch. Then she went back in, and she was like, oh, I just want to come to you because I'm a mum. Like, you're a fucking cunt, that's what you are. People were saying that his sisters own some business and they had put like their whole business on private. They're all arseholes, literally. And then I kept seeing clips of him posting videos and saying, oh, I'm looking for a reason to care about what people think in it. He clearly does care. And if he doesn't, it's because he's a narcissist, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. He had the absolute audacity to come back into the room and say that he was embarrassed for her and her sister. He's an absolute joke. I've seen a few comments on videos of people saying Adrian's not done anything wrong, he's hot. And it's times like this where women go with narcissistic men or abusive men, and then later on they'll come out and they'll be like, oh, he did this to me, he did that to me. And I'm like, I don't feel bad for you. You knew he was going to be like that. It's like anybody who Harrison goes out with, Harrison who was on it before, if he's ever got a girlfriend, if he does anything to them, it doesn't matter how bad it is, and they come out in the press and say, oh, he did this to me, I'll be like that, What did you expect? So anyway, that was a very dramatic friends and family meeting. As we already knew he was a cunt, his whole family's cunts, and it turns out that his pals are cunts as well. Let me know what you thought of that episode, and I'll see you again in 2 minutes because I'm just about to upload another video.